whose stories will be told. What's that sound? I hear a noise. Something's coming, girls and boys, run for the hills and far away. We're the Guild of Dungeoneering. Curse and swear, but don't despair. The way out of here must be over there. I think we're lost, but what do we care? We're the Guild of Dungeoneering.
Hello and welcome to the new Sunday Let's Play. At least until I get back to recording Evil Genius. It's still kind of evil themed, because in this game we are not quite the good guy. So I figured that'll do for now. It's also quite a fun game with a lot of rhyming and singing and, well, not that much singing, but a lot of poetry in it. So I also like the visual theme they're going for. So yeah, we're going to play that. I'm going to just turn down this sound a bit. Maybe I'll turn it up, I don't know. No, I'll keep it there. I guess that'll work. Actually, we might go a bit further up here and a bit further up here. Okay, close that. Now we're going to start a new game. And yeah, there is a narrator, so that's why. And I also like this title song. And by the way, the game has been created by Gambrinus Games, a small indie studio. I think it has been released last year. And I've been playing it through. I've been playing through the original game and the Pirates Cove expansion. I had quite a lot of fun with it. And I recently got my hands on the Ice Cream Headaches expansion, which was also recently released, I think. So we're gonna play that. I'm not going to use any shortcuts or anything, so we'll just dive right in, start a new game. In this third slot, we're not going to use any shortcuts. I would have the option there. And now I'll have to shut up again, because there should be some narration coming up. And you know, those loading screens are new, by the way.
This is the Guild of Dungeoneering. All across the land they're cheering, oh, to be a Dungeoneer, chasing fame and glory.
The Ivory League of Explorers. The noblest, most virtuous guild in the land. Pfft, those insufferable jerks. I'll show them. They won't think me so grossly incompetent when I have my own guild. I've bought a small hall in the bad part of town with the gold I borrowed from them. Staked out a dungeon that's ripe for the picking. I've even found the chump who can do all the dirty work while I sit back and watch the coins roll in. Like my father always told me, there's always someone stupider than yourself. Well, he never said it to me. Actually, he said it to everyone but me. Wait a minute. Yeah, so as you can see, we're not quite the good guy here. And that's why, yeah, we're going with that. So this is our guild. It's, like the journal said, just this one tiny hall, which we can expand in any direction we want, well, in any of the cardinal directions. And we currently only have this barracks card here. And I'm tempted to move that just here. Because why the hell not?
The one that's always left behind, the solitary lump, the pawn who's fodder for the grind, the sorry little chump.
So every class is introduced by the bard the first time you use it, so we'll not hear the new chumps arrive with the bard. Okay, so we got a chump. We're gonna keep him like that because he's kind of replaceable. Okay, so we can click on him. He'll not like it. There's actually no point in doing that. Let me just poke my chump instead. That sounds naughty. Okay, I thought there was also a way to look at their stats, but we can't. Okay, fine. We have a dungeon. The first dungeon. Rats. How original. Yeah, squeak squeak. So, in truly adventurous manner, except Elder Scrolls where you start kind of imprisoned, we're going to fight rats. With our only choice right now, the chump. So the game is fairly simple. I think we'll also be treated to a quick tutorial. Okay, so our goal is to watch the tutorial. So you get 5 cards. Do you get 5? Yeah, 5 cards. You can play 3 of them. And your dungeoneer will move on his own. So you basically lay out the dungeon, but you have no influence whatsoever on the... well, you can move, or you can influence how your dungeoneer will move, but you can't directly control him. In battle, however, it's different. You get the choice of 3 cards. This amount can vary. You'll have your cards here. Those are yours. This is the card the opponent is playing. Right now he's playing a stupidity card, which means he does nothing. So we can just get in a lucky hit. There are 2 types of attack, the physical and the magical. Red is physical, blue is magical. There's also defense. This is luckily something that defends us against both types of damage. Some attacks have side effects, like this one, which takes 1 of your life away. And yeah, what else is there to say? Magical defense only works against magical attacks, and physical the same. And there is this shield that has blue and red. That means it can block any. Those are pretty valuable. After one battle, you get to pick from loot. Loot gives you certain traits, like Stupidity 1 means we get a Stupidity card. Wise is a trait, which means you have 1 more starting hand size. So we'd get to pick from 4 cards. It's kind of useless though, so we'll pick the... We could get the fork, or the cover. I'll take the fork. Now, your dungeoneer will always move following a certain set of rules. Firstly, he will... okay, we have to defeat 2 more monsters. That's not too difficult, if we're being perfectly honest here. Your dungeoneer will always try to move towards a monster of his level. He will also always move towards gold if there is any. And there's the Rune of the Fates, which is something they added in the last expansion. So if I move this, if I put a gold coin here, he'll move to this rat because there's loot over here. And that's pretty much all I can do. So he will also try to move towards unexplored areas, indicated by those little clouds here. Kind of foggy. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm fine. Alright, we can look at our dungeoneer here. So this is the Blessing. We currently don't have any of those. We only have the Slice skill on top of the regular dungeoneer cards. And if I close that, up here you can see Favor. Favor is gained by fighting on those rune fields here. So I have to place a rune of something, a rune of the Fates usually. Actually, there is only that rune. And if I defeat an enemy here, we gain Favor, and I can use that in battle to either draw a card, burn a trump card, or discard the monster's current card, in the hopes that the next one will be better. This requires a certain amount of Favor though, so we're not going to get any of that in this dungeon run. So this is enemy discards 1, which means I think the enemy would get to pick which card I discard. And I would basically start the next turn with 2 cards only. Okay, this is unblockable, which means blocking would not do anything, so it's kind of straightforward. So we'll attack this, and I'm probably going to switch out the music soon, or switch off the music soon, because it can get quite repetitive. They only have like 5 titles or so. I never counted it, but it doesn't feel like a lot, so it does repeat quite a lot after a while, and I'm probably just going to fade it out. Okay, so now we already have a fork. Your character has 4 equipment slots: a head, weapon, an offhand, and a chest, and then trouser slots. It's a body slot. Okay, we already have the fork, so if we pick the twig, we'd replace the fork and probably sell that. I think for 1 gold or so. You would gain Bash instead of or Crush instead of Blade. Now, if you have more cards that have the same trait, you would gain a better trait. So if we had a bladed hat, for example, or an offhand sword, we had a chance to get Blade 2, which would be a better blade attack. So that's how you gain more attacks. Leveling up does not do anything for your attacks, you just gain more life. Also, since we don't have a head slot yet, I'm gonna go with a pigeon nest. Do I look silly in that? I think so. Squeak, that's the Rat King, I think. So what we want to do now is we want to get a massive gem over here. If your dungeoneer has already crossed that room, or has explored the room, and there is nothing in it, he can go 2 rooms. Also note that he will always move towards the more valuable loot, which is in this case the giant gem. Or massive gem, rather. Okay, we'll just do the fight. And I'll try to vary up with the classes a bit, because there is quite a lot of them. And, well, at least the chump will not see that often, because he's not the greatest class. He's your starting class, so you get a chump as a beginning thing. And that's pretty much it. And there are quite a few more side effects of cards, which we'll probably see sooner or later. Sadly, we didn't get that gem there.
Oh, look, it's your dungeoneer who survived. Just look at the joy. I'm so teary-eyed. Do you think that they'll all come back alive? Well, I suppose if they don't, then at least they all tried.
So, at the end of the dungeon, you get a quick breakdown on what you earned with that. How much map you explored, how many monsters you've killed. Which I think doesn't count the last one. Or this actually counts the level, because the rubber duck was level 0, so I suppose it doesn't give any money. You sell your gear, which is kind of stupid. Well, I mean, it makes sense in a gameplay perspective, but you probably want to keep the one set of decent gear and just send in... Oh, well, anyway, dungeoneers are replaceable. We get a quest bonus of 50, which is simply for basically getting a new building, because the first buildings all cost 50 gold. And we gain a battle scar. If your dungeoneer survives, which doesn't happen that often, he'll start with a Zealot 1. Actually, there's quite a few battle scars. The dungeoneer can have up to 2, and they have 2 stages. Although the second one in all the ones I've seen so far was they gain a stupidity card. So that is probably to keep you from resending the same dungeoneer over and over and over again. Although Holy One's actually a quite good trait. So we'll return to the guild. And see what else we can build. So between dungeon runs, you can expand your guild. As I said, the first dungeons all cost 50 gold. So, the first expansions. Some of them unlock unlock new classes like Cat Burglar, Bruiser, Mime, and Apprentice. Those are blessings. We probably don't want those right now, and those unlock equipment of varying classes. Now this includes the equipment that has been added by the expansions. I'm not sure if the sash has been... I think up to here. Those 4 items, the Soda's Helmet, Scimitar, Scalmer, and the Mace, were in the original game. And those were added with the expansions. Now the flintlock, I'm quite sure, was added by the pirate thing, and I'm quite sure the sash also as well. The Dessert Spoon, the Stalagmite, and the Alpine Horn, on the other hand, were added by the Ice Cream expansion, which added a whole lot of ice-themed things. It also adds the expansions both added new classes as well, which you will unlock as you progress in those campaigns. And with that being said, let's build a training yard. Why not? So I can place this anywhere I want, as long as it connects up to something. We'll just build it over here, I guess.
Not a gentle kind of dungeoneer, nor a poet or a muser, but one that fills the heart with fear. I give to you the Bruiser.
Well, that's awfully kind of you. So we have a new Dungeoneer. Now, if anybody but the chump dies, you actually have to wait for one dungeon run until a replacement arrives. So if we lose our Bruiser, we'd have to send in the chump for one more run before we could do something else. Which I think is also a mechanic that actually patched in. It wasn't that way in the beginning. You could basically send in the same Dungeoneer or the same class over and over again. But I suppose that kind of enforces, or that forces you to go with a bit more variety, which also is quite fun. In fact, once you get more classes, I think they could actually increase the respawn time. So you'd be forced to go with more than 2 classes. Anyway, we'll do one more run in this episode. We'll see if we can defeat the Rat King with our new Bruiser. Each class has a certain starting trait and certain basic attacks. And they're all a bit more professional than the chump. Squick! That's the Rat King there. He is over here. Now, we want to go through here. At the beginning you want to get yourself some easy fights, so a nasty rat should do the trick. And we want a gold coin because why the hell not? The more money we get, the better. After 3 cards placed, your Dungeoneer will move on his own. And the Bruiser has a very, very powerful trait, and that is called Spiky. If we fully block an attack, we deal 1 damage. So we'll fully block this neurotoxin, because I really don't want to discard a card. And the enemy takes 1 damage. So let's oi it. Nobody said all those attacks were actual attacks. I never did that. So, yeah. Also, all the equipment, or most of the equipment, has its own kind of description in it. Or sometimes they have a little joke or a little pun line that goes along with them. So we leveled up and we gain a straight jacket. That's useful. Okay, in this case the choice is quite clear. We want to repel, because look at that. 3 physical attacks blocked. That is a lot of damage, especially this early in the game. And we do gain a stupidity card. That's kind of the downside, but it's okay. What's this supposed to be for? Yeah. The straight jacket also kinda useful. It gives you 1 health, which is good at the start of the game, or the first fights. But it's one of those items that you basically switch out as soon as it's possible, because it's just kinda useless, and there are other things that give you +1 health and a trait, or even more traits. Anyway, we'll go with this. So we'll take a stool. Hooray! And this is a bit of the tricky part of the game. You kinda have to get the right connections between those rooms, because the game recognizes what rooms are adjacent, so I can only place I could not place this here, for example. It would expect me to have a 4-way section or intersection. Rather, yeah. So with an exit to all 4 sides. In this case, I also can't place this, and I could place this here, or I could place that here. I could also place both if I so desired. But let's place this over here. And do I feel ready to take on a Ratman? I think I do. So we'll place a Ratman there, and just for the sake of it, we'll put that there. Okay, neurotoxin is bad. We really don't want that to happen. But luckily he discarded the stupidity card, which is, I think, one of the main reasons to keep those in your deck at all. It's so you have something you can discard if you need to do so. Because honestly, what else would you? Also, there are some times when you really don't want to do anything. We'll get to those cards. You will see them in action soon enough. We'll just finish it off here. As you can see, the unblockable goes straight around my block. And it does very little for me. Now we could wear a barrel, which gives us stupidity 1, so we'd get another stupidity card. And yeah, we'd get 1 health as well. That's also kind of useless. I'm going with the Paper Crown because that's an Omni block, so it blocks one of any kind of damage. That is only one, so if we get attacked by 1 physical and 1 magical damage, it will only block one of those. I'm not sure which has the preference there. Anyway, we'll go with the Paper Crown because it will also heal us for 1 per blocked damage. I'm not sure how you would express that, so chitter is just nothing that I'm familiar with. And right now we can't really place any cards because this won't fit in here. And so I think the dungeons have to be interconnected, so I could not place anything. If I hadn't placed this, I could not place anything in here if I had the right tiles, because it only goes from the path you've already connected. Okay. Which can go a bit against you, because sometimes you just won't get the right connectors. However, randomness is quite a big deal in the game, and aside of that, there is not too much you can screw up, or you don't lose too much. I mean, it can be a bit annoying to lose a Dungeoneer who you've leveled up, who has pretty decent battle scars, which by the way is something you can also turn off if you want to. That'll sort out this battle for us. Okay, now what do we want? I don't want to lose that. I also don't want to lose that, because Repel is such an amazing card, and especially as a bruiser we gain a lot from being able to block damage. So we'll go with Smash, because that's a great thing. It's also something we don't have yet, so it goes in a weapon slot, which is something we haven't filled yet, so great. Okay, now those almost go almost any time, except here, because there is a blocked path here, and you can't just make this kind of connection. Okay, let's put down a gnoll, and damn, I wanted to place some more gold, because I believe that all counts towards your end result, so the more gold you have, the better. I'm not sure if he has any magic attacks, and this is one of the times where I kind of want to save up those, so I'm just going to do this. Of course, an actual counter-attack would be better, but screw it. We'll get our health back. If you gain health while you're at full health, you just gain more health than that. Okay. Also, this damage is kind of unblockable. We'll do this. You don't have to rely on it too much, though. If you can finish a fight, it's better to do it quick than to wait with it. Because there's always a chance that you might get screwed over by the RNG. Especially if you have a lot of stupidity cards or others. Don't overdo it. Don't stress your luck. Also, this has Fate Cursed, which is currently bad for us because we don't have any favor with the fates. As we haven't put down any runes. We didn't get one, I think, so that's fine. Could get a scoop. This black thing means draw 1 card. However, that's still not worth it, so we'll just take some gold. This gold is always added here, which is... I don't know if that's something I find good or not. I think we can go straight to the Rat King. And since I don't really see a need to place more cards here, we'll just end the turn. We're having that. We're totally having that, my friend. Now this enemy has Fury, which means all physical attacks will deal 1 more damage once it's on half health or less. So that's something to watch out for, because that can really get you. Especially if they have a good run with their attack cards, because now this would deal 3 damage. However, we can finish it off here. I could block that with Repel. But as I said, since this ends the battle for me, that's the better idea. We don't want to sacrifice that or that. And this is a bad trade. We'd gain 2 health, but no. 2 stupidity cards, not good. Not sure if that makes a difference, but we'll place that here. Oh no. Already is money there, so we'll just end our turn and go to fight the Rat King. Let's see how this goes. The Rat King's a leader, so he gains 1 health for each surrounding minion. I think this counts as surrounding. And we'll block this. So we'll take 2 damage. There's not much we can do here, so we'll just hit him. The unblockable there was not actually necessary, but we had it, so why not? So the Bruiser is, I believe, one of the more powerful classes, especially because he also has magical blocks. So that helps him out quite a lot. That being said...
3 cheers for your lucrative plundering after all your aimless blundering. How you rode your luck without getting stuck. Left me and your enemies wondering.
Okay, so we gained a lot of stuff here. Those are adventures. We can now go on more than one other adventure. We gained a new battle scar, which gives us Fire 1, which has some pretty nice cards. We also get a trophy room, because every time you unlock a dungeon, or you finish a dungeon or an adventure, which is always a set of dungeons, it's usually 2 to 3, you get a trophy for it. And we'll put the trophy room right over... Do I want to put it here? Yeah, let's put it here. I mean, I could also put it... No, I can't put it in front of the entrance hall. That would be silly. So... yeah, let's put it here. To the left. Hooray!
Caught up in all this doom and gloom of all the places you've wrecked, it's nice to have a big trophy room. A place to quietly reflect.
We didn't have that many trophies right now. Well, as you can see here, we only have the Rat King's tail. And we have a journal here. So we can look up at that. And there's that, which I think we're kinda early now. Ugh, if I never hear another story about clearing out rats, it won't be too soon. My employees did return with some interesting rumors that from the Rat King, though. There was mention of a magic orb, an orb of nosiness. It's exactly the kind of thing I could use to keep an eye on the Ivory League. I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to take them down a peg. The rumors point to more dungeons out in the grasslands. I'll search there first. Ha! What am I saying? No, I'm not stepping foot in the place. That's what I have chumps for. And if they don't want to do it, there's plenty more other who are eager to join the guild. I've also decided from now on we'll be known as the Guild of Dungeoneering. Either that or the Guild of the Ivory League of Explorers is stupid. I can't decide which will look better on our letterhead. And there's the Rat King's tail again. I don't know why we put that on our journal. That's kind of unhygienic. Okay, so we'll close that. And we'll expand the guild. I tend to go for all the classes first, because I can. Okay, we'll get the... So my general order is get the classes, then get the loot, and then grab all the other stuff here. The blessings, and then go on to tier 2. Which costs 500, so that's a lot more, and the class tier 3 is even better. It unlocks... Actually, tier 2 is already classes you'd expect to be in a dungeon, or to be raiding dungeons, rather than mimes and apprentices. Although I think that's... they all have kind of a twist, so... each class plays a lot different, and some are arguably better than others. Way better than others. And there are some that I just basically stopped playing at all, because I just couldn't get them to work unless I had a very certain set of conditions met. Like a very, very certain blessing, and a very a certain set of cards that you gain from the start, and so on. So that's a bit difficult. Anyway, we're gonna buy a theater because we can. So we'll get a mime. And I think a theater looks nice next to a trophy room. We can't put it here. We can put it here. Not sure I'd want to. We'll put it over here.
Is there anything that's more soul-destroying than having to rhyme all the time? There's only one thing perhaps more annoying, and that would be an insufferable mime.
Very true. Although I have never seen mimes, so we'll go with Cortez here. I'm not sure he has this Spanish thing to him, but we'll go with it. Now the mime obviously has a bit... He doesn't complain verbally. He waggles his finger at you. He looks at you startled. He looks right at you, frowning. Hey, cut! We got him! We got him! Okay, I'm gonna stop it here. And, I'll just poke the bruiser. Okay, anyway, that's it for now. I hope you liked this video. Feel free to subscribe and, I don't know, recommend it to your friends. You probably won't. You probably don't need to. Also at 99 subscribers, so I'm one short of my goal for this year, which would be 100. So, yeah. Who knows? Anyway, next time we'll buy another expansion, because I didn't forget. I might forget until next time that we had one more expansion, but anyway, next time. Bye!